Oh, maybe if I hit the...
Are you on YouTube or are you on? You're on YouTube. I'm an idiot.
Maybe if I hit the go live button. Okay,
No.
guys. Now I think I'm here.
Yeah.
Am I on now? Too long of a vacation, right? From doing live videos. No wonder I couldn't get myself. Okay, you're on. Yay. So in the very first video that I did a month ago, my first live video, I did this new way to wrap your mini albums, which is also helpful for those of you that maybe have arthritis. So that video is already up, and this was just now the long awaited let's attach our pages. We did these pages at the Vermont retreat, and I'd always been an advocate of attaching the pages after we decorate them. But you know, this was worked pretty good, and it has a lot of different things that you can do. Hey, Brenda. Hi, Cynthia. And I'm going to show you some of the different things you can do. Now, we did a 9x6, and the orientation was like this. So it gave us even more options. But it also gives you, look how big that is. Don't ask me why doing it this way. It just increases the way your album cover lays flat. Completely flat. You can decorate it. And also on the inside, see this, it lays completely flat. So I've cut my pages. Now this particular cover is not the size in the first video. It's 6.5 by 9. And I wanted the side, or the, yeah, side load. And then when we did the retreat again, hi Erica, we completely closed it. So I'm going to do this one a little different. So my pages are going to be 6 by 8.5, like my nose. And I've done one, and I've scored 3 more. Now, you'll need 3 that are actually, if you're going to do this size. And I mentioned when I wasn't recording and thought I was, I will set this aside and probably do a tutorial on the pages. But right now, my pages are 9.5 by 6 for my base. Then my top is 6 by 8.5. And I've done the pre-scoring. So I'll just show you really quickly on one. I scored a 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch on the 9.5 inch side if you're making this particular size. But the whole idea, this was just to show you how to attach the pages. And I'm going to do all 3 of them so I can show you some variations of things that you can do. I'm going to go ahead and burnish those score lines. Hey, Kelly. Now I'm only going to miter the edges on one side because this side that we're going to attach to the hinges doesn't need it. And this side is where our tags will go. Now also, this saved some time. I was amazed at how fast we put those albums together in Vermont because you don't have to do all the pre-making. So it worked out really cool. And also, your pages are going to go together pretty straight as long as your hinges have been made straight. You can use any binding system you want with this. Okay, I'm going to turn it sideways for me because I want to give you an idea here. We're going to actually attach this page first. Then we're going to add the top to it. So, get the pins out. I'm just going to add my wet adhesive to the top. And I just made a total mess with the glue. And because your size is almost like perfect, it's going to fit perfectly on the hinge. I'm just going to lay it down. And another thing, unlike adding the pocket page onto this hinge, see, I'm telling the hinge that it has to lay down flat, so it's going to. Even Kim on our design team, Reynolds, she was just like amazed. She's like, I don't understand what makes this lay flat. but I think it's because we are actually forming it to our pages. Okay. And I do put it to the bottom. Nope, I still made the hinge the exact same way. Next, see, my pages are perfect. They're all lined up. I'm just going to burnish this over. Now, I like to stick that down. And another thing that you can do, and I'll show you on the next page the variation, because we can glue these right down. Uh-oh, Wilbur's into some. What has he got?
Right now, go live.
See? Wilbur, the minute I go live, he gets into things. Okay, the top piece, and I'm cutting these the same as if I was going to make the pocket page. And again, I'm going to check my fit because you'll want to trim it. You don't want it to hang over the sides. So this is just originally made for those who have arthritis or sore hands. But I've come to find out I'm really liking making the albums this way. And they seem to go together really fast in Vermont. So it was also a time saver. Again, keep your adhesive to the top. You can use your art glitter glue or a dry adhesive. Just lining that side to side, top to bottom. And I just take a little more time when I'm burnishing these pages on. And also, you're not going to have, you just have so much room. You won't have basically that problem of tags getting stuck because of the way we've attached this. Like I said, it just was amazing how well things worked with this. And then your pages are straight. We're going to attach another one, and I'll show you a variation, especially if you have, hi Candace, especially if you have a big, oh Susan, really awesome. The designers are using it. That's awesome. I'm going to tell you, I was amazed at how it cut down our work. Now, the one thing that we did do, and I'll be teaching it in other tutorials, when we made the flaps and turns and pockets, we do mount those before we put them on. So we were making some pockets and then a lot of flaps, but we made the flaps. We mat the flaps on that. I didn't even get to bring my album home because Sally threw a fit and took it. So I don't even have it to show you. I was going to show you, but I don't have it. All the flips and flaps were matted. Then we put them on. I'm telling you, it was a time saver from heck. I was so excited. Just about everybody got their albums finished, even newbies. So we're going to add the adhesive, and then I'll show you something else that we did. So I'm just going to grab my rag. I'm going to push that hinge back. There we go. I'm just kind of pinching that down, and you'll see your pages will line up. Now, you can completely glue this down. Completely. And why would you do that? There's really, I can't give you an exactly reason why. Maybe you just want to have, I'll show you. Maybe you want to do some kind of a different tag and you want to guarantee that it's not going to stick. So you're going to, I found if I glue that completely down, you know, sometimes tags get stuck here. And I do like packing tape, but you can use your Scotch tape. because maybe you just want to add some Scotch tape. You need to leave room for your adhesive. But anytime you add a Scotch tape here, you're going to have a little more free flowing on your tags. And another thing with this, you know your pages are completely attached to this hinge. So also, if you're scared, if you're one of those that are really nervous to put your pages on, you can see exactly what you're doing. Now again, I want to check. Mostly I'm checking top to bottom. I don't want anything to hang over. So let's trim a hair off. And lovely Fiskars cutter. Okay. Stay to the top of your hinge. And again, this is just one of those things, try it. It may not work for every album. Try it. You may love it. Especially if you have some arthritis in your hands. You're not trying to get it down there and then dropping it or having it stuck. I mean, you're able to see exactly what you're doing. And also, do you see my pages? They're like laying flat. Our album in Vermont, and it was a 9x6, totally laying flat. Hi, Margaret. I'm doing great. How are you? You gave up on yours? Oh, I'm doing it like this? Which one did you give up on, Kelly? Oh, your trimmer? Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. I'll show you my trimmer after, my cutter. It's the Dolly. It's big, but I'll tell you, it's totally worth it. Okay, so this book is going to have the 4 pages. So I want to show you something else we did. I mean, we didn't do, but that you can do, which makes it really nice. As you know, when you make an album, have you ever gotten to the tags and you're like, oh my gosh, now I have to use another sheet of paper for each tag, depending on the size of your album, if it's a big one. So maybe you don't want a big tag, and maybe you just want, shoot, I wish I had one, a graphic 45 tag. Because, you know, they're not. Hey, Kara. Yeah, they're in that bin that says graphic 45 tag. She's going to grab me when I want to show you this. So I'm just going to, and you have more freedom to mess with your hinge. Do you see how fast I'm doing this? And I'm telling you, you can make a lot of, your albums will go by faster. Oh, I already did. So let's turn it this way. And then, okay, let's put our hinge down. Yeah. That'll work. Oh, and one of those. Oh, yeah, perfect. I should have had my lovely assistant in her apron, and we could have, my lovely assistant, Kara. Oh, yeah, she looks like Sally's video yesterday, she said. Okay, what I'm going to do here, I just want to put my sides down. I'm not going to glue these ones down. Hi, Linda. Okay, say you really have a lot of these and you want to use them, but you know this pocket's going to be too big, and maybe you want to have one of each. Now, how cute would that be? But you're like, oh, I don't want them to go down in my book. Well, first of all, let me get my top layer. I'm going to trim it, but I'm not going to trim it on that thing. So I've got my idea. Since both my tags are a little different, I'm going to make it so they'll both be the same, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some glue here, which you really can't do on a pocket page because you just really can't get that perfect line. So we're going to close this off because we don't want our tags to go down that far. I am setting the page all the way down to the hinge. And when you turn it over, it will move just a hair, which is just enough. Now, the beautiful thing about this is when you go to put your, when you go to put on, I got my glue down too far. I got a little, when you go to put your flips and flaps on, you're able to set it where your page ends so that you're not having your flips and flaps smashed by your hinge when you turn it. No, I put, now see where this one sits? When I put it down, when you push it over, it's going to move. It'll move up a little bit. Each one of these did move up a little bit. When you push it back, and if you're using a wet adhesive, it kind of slides up. This one I slid up just a little too much because I wasn't paying attention. But now I can go ahead and I can close that off because we've added the adhesive inside of there. And now I'm not a prisoner of using a full-length tag. And for some reason, the pockets, well, this is it. Okay, this is the difference. When I glued the sides down, remember on this one, it did make my pocket smaller. So it'll bring it in smaller if you want to add, if you want to make your tag smaller. So you're not using the full sheet of paper. This is regular. You have tons of room. With your sides glued down, it gives you a smaller opening. So maybe you just want to add one. When you glue it halfway down or however far down you want, then you can use things like your G45 tags or smaller. Like I could cut just a little 4-inch tag instead of having to go all the way down because I don't like to dig. I don't like to dig in my pockets, especially once you get stuff on. It'll tighten up a little bit. But that way you do have the use of a smaller space. And then we just make sure everything's down. And then as you're working on your book, one thing we loved, hi Diane from Canada, while we were up at the retreat, we opened our book and we flipped it over and we worked on it flat. So even when you put your flips and flaps on, you can still work on it flat by dividing it in half and work on it flat. Like I said, I wish I had it to show. Maybe Sally will show you since she took it home with her. Because I don't own that album anymore. And I don't even think I have them. I don't even have the original ones. Everybody took them. Anyway, that is how you attach the pages this way. And also, once they get heavier, you're going to have an album that lays nice and flat. And you can do so many things with it. So are there any questions? Also tonight, don't forget I'm live tonight. And we are making a repeat of an album, which is a recipe album. And I'm using the fall papers. And I'm going to be making this cover again so you can see how it's made. And if you were on our Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations group on Facebook, I do have the cutting list for tonight's video. So yeah, it does stay flat. It looks wonderful. I think it's perfectly straight. Your pages are perfectly straight. Everything is just perfectly lined up. So another way to create your albums, try it. It really is fast. And then you just create your flips and flaps. You add them on after they're decorated. And it's kind of like having your album time cut in half. Okay, everybody, if there's no questions, then I will see you live again tonight, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we are creating, oh, I've got a picture. Do you have the pictures? We are creating from a long time back. I don't have a picture. It was the Home Sweet Home recipe album. And it is on YouTube, but it's really old. So we're going to remake it with fall paper. Okay, guys, I'll see you tonight then at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Bye-bye.